Hello and welcome back to Rue's Life. So it's just a bit of a catch up today of what I've been up to and where I'm at really. So as you saw, Chris and I had some wood to process, and that was actually, you may recall back in the summer, we had to chop down some of the holly hedge. And the holly was, it's a tree and it was getting really tall. It was overshadowing the polytunnel and the plot. And Chris's cousin, who's a tree surgeon, came and helped us out with that. It was actually really lovely. So his auntie and his cousin came and stayed with us, and that was really nice. And the boys cracked on with the hedge, and Mag and I actually went for some nice walks, and I cooked some lovely food, and we just had a really nice time. So that wood has been seasoning and it needed to be processed, because of course we're now into that time of year where we are, we have the wood burner on pretty much 24/7. We get it lit and then we keep it in. In other news, I've got the second book now in the Thursday Murder Club. I haven't finished the first one yet, but again, I went to see some family yesterday, and one of my aunts has been reading them, and so she's given me the second one to read. So I'm really looking forward to having that. And it's just kind of the run up now. So for me with work, this is coming into our busiest time. So the Christmas period here is really, really busy for me at work. So I'm preparing for that and just getting on with bits and pieces really. I've still got some more cards to make. So what I have managed to do, where have I hidden them away? So you would have seen in a previous video that I was making some Yuletide cards. So I've now managed to get hold of these lovely recycled paper envelopes so that I can distribute them, and I'll be making some more of those. I'm going to be foraging and making some festive garlands, decorations. Haven't fully decided yet, but yeah, keep watching because that'll be coming up over the next couple of weeks, and I'll be bringing in some greenery and bits and pieces that I've foraged from around the farm to decorate the cottage. We had a lovely walk, and we met up with one of my nieces and her husband near Ludlow, and there's a lovely forest called Mortimer Forest. I couldn't remember for a minute, and it was a bit hit and miss as to whether we were going to go because it was quite snowy in the morning, but we took the truck rather than the car, and it was absolutely fine. We got there, and actually, although it had snowed, it was quite rainy for the walk, but it didn't matter. We had a good old chat and a lovely walk for a couple of hours, and then we went to a local pub and had a lovely Sunday roast dinner. So I've got a few bits and pieces to do around the house, but I need to get ready because I'm off for a wild swim in the Mere with my lovely swim buddy Jules. So I just need to get my bits and pieces together and pack a flask, and I'm off for a swim. It's kind of chilly but soggy today, and we've got a little bit of flooding in some of the fields. We have had some really beautiful frosty mornings, but we've had rain for the last kind of 48 hours, but there's still a bit of a chill in the air. So I'm just out doing my morning routine. So I'm just going to go and feed the chickens. I've checked on Victor, and then it's a case of checking on the sheep and feeding the horses. an egg. We're still getting 1 or 2 eggs a day, which is really good for this time of the year. Oh, it's not for doggies. My kalettes have been an absolute delight from start to finish. They've been relatively easy to grow. I started them off in the polytunnel and then I popped them out in here. To be honest with you, I kind of left them to their own devices. So apart from having had them under the hoops, which were netted to protect them from the butterflies and pests, and I've also controlled a little bit, as much as I could, the slug population, they've actually thrived. Their colour is just phenomenal, and I'll get you in a bit closer to see them, but they're absolutely gorgeous. A real lush purple and dark green. And one of the things I'm absolutely loving about them is that you can pretty much eat the whole plant. So we've got these gorgeous leaves, the larger leaves. As they emerge at the top, we've got these smaller ones, and then the kalettes growing up the stalk. So just look how beautiful they are. And then if we get down, you can see the little kalettes, kind of like flowery Brussels sprouts growing up the stem. So let's get on and harvest some. So I've taken some of the little kalettes off the stem, and now I'm just going to take some of the leaves from the top as well. So I've just taken a few pickings today. So like I say, some of the little kalettes off the stem and then some of the top foliage as well. Let's get into the kitchen because I want to cook them up and show you how they cook, and then I can tell you how they taste. So all I did was wash them and pop them in a little bit of olive oil, and that's them cooked down very, very lightly. I have tasted them already, not on this occasion, but on a previous harvest. So we're not testing together, but this is one of the little kalettes off the stem, and they're absolutely delicious. And this is some of the leaves. And I wish that you could taste this. So they get an absolute 10 out of 10 for me, not just for the taste test, but for the whole experience. They've been great to grow. They're absolutely beautiful in the garden. They haven't needed a huge amount of maintenance, and the end result is delicious.